Welcome back to the show. My name is Conspiracy. Science is back on assignment. We didn't have time last week to talk about everything about the JFK assassination that I wanted to, so I thought we could take some time this week and talk about a couple theories that you may not have heard of. Do you have a fascination for the unknown? Are you drawn to the unexplained phenomenon? Subscribe to Science vs. Conspiracy over coffee and discover what lies beyond the curtain. The link is in the show notes. So brew some coffee, pull up a chair, and open your mind. This week on Science vs. Conspiracy, we will be talking about alternative assassination theories that you may not have heard about. Over coffee. We'll be right back. At the top of the list, and a theory that some have debunked, however, I still find fascinating and it shouldn't be dismissed so easily. At least one, if not two, of the shots came from within the car. It's like a horror movie when one character is home alone and the phone rings, and the person on the other end is calling from inside the house, and then they end up dead. I always thought it was odd that Jackie Kennedy tried to jump out of the back of the car after the shots were fired. Not to mention, she started to duck before the first shot was fired. If the shots were coming from an unknown location, wouldn't your natural instinct be to duck and stay down? But if the shots were coming from close by, and you could even see the person holding the gun, you're going to want to get out of there as fast as you can and run into the opposite direction. And that's exactly what she did. She jumped out the back of the car. How would this be possible, you ask? There were two Secret Service agents in the car. Wouldn't they be there to protect them? Someone would have seen them turn around and shoot Kennedy. What about the Zapruder film? I didn't see anything in that. These are all great questions, and there's lots to unpack here. First, the two Secret Service men in the car were William Greer, who was driving, and Roy Kellerman, who was in the front passenger seat, and the more experienced of the two. Greer, he was recruited into the Secret Service because he had experience with chauffeuring around wealthy and prominent people. The day of the assassination wasn't the first time he had driven for a president. Prior to chauffeuring Kennedy around on multiple occasions, he also drove Harry S. Truman and Dwight Eisenhower. So he was a seasoned driver and experienced enough to know what to do in case of an emergency. The other Secret Service agent was Roy Kellerman. He also happened to be the special agent in charge. He became a Secret Service agent in 1941 and was permanently assigned to the White House in 1942. Once the assassination happened, Kellerman was the one that stayed by the president's side throughout the process. After the assassination, he would be the one to remain with the president's body without interruption. He had been with the president and the First Lady from the moment they stepped off the plane at Love Field and all the way through the assassination, including the entire autopsy and embalming. He stayed with the body until the president's remains were brought back to the White House. Photos taken confirmed that he was with the casket when Air Force One arrived at Andrews Air Force Base. Both Greer and Kellerman were highly criticized for not doing more to protect the president. In 1979, the House Select Committee on Assassinations declared that the Secret Service was deficient in the performance of its duties at the time of assassination, and that President Kennedy did not receive adequate protection in Dallas. Regarding the conduct of Secret Service agent Roy Kellerman, the House Select Committee noted, no actions were taken by the agent in the right front seat of the presidential limousine to cover the president with his body, although it would have been considered with Secret Service procedure for him to have done so. The primary function of the agents was to remain at all times in close proximity to the president in the event of such emergencies. But did they have an alternative motive? There would have had to have been a coordinated effort between several parties in order to pull this off. Last week I mentioned the connection between Abraham Zapruder, Jackie Kennedy, and George de Morenchild. The Zapruder film is considered the best recorded evidence of the assassination. However, considering who he was connected to and where he was standing to film the motorcade coming down the street, it just so happened that at a key moment, a road sign was blocking the camera view. This would have given the two Secret Service agents the opportunity to make their move. There was also the missing frames on the official Zapruder film that was released. Key frames that could have been incriminating. Even before the Zapruder film was released, don't forget that Kellerman was the one who was with the Kennedy body uninterrupted, providing him the opportunity to cover something up, perhaps by switching documents or switching out autopsy photos to tell a different story. Both men left the Secret Service not long after. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. That's it for this week. Remember, being paranoid is smart. We'll see you next time.